I joined the program. And it was on one of the first sessions that you were teaching, and Coach Tanya was on there. I'll never forget it. You said, why are you writing a book about something you don't have any experience with when you are sitting on your Google Drive with over $1 million worth of content because you have been doing that work? You know it. Light bulb for me.
Welcome to the Published and Paid podcast, where we share book, business, leadership, and life lessons in 20 minutes or less to help you build a thought leadership brand and business. My name is Jasminewomack. I'm a former middle school language arts teacher turned 7-figure entrepreneur, and I am glad that you are here. Let's get started.
Welcome to another great episode of the Published and Paid podcast. And today I am bringing in a very special guest. She is a member of one of our mastermind programs. When I tell you, the moment that you get into her space, into her energy, just talking to her, not only is she a wealth of knowledge, I mean, she is just an amazing woman. So I am so excited to bring to you all Dr. Kim Germany. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so proud to be here. If Jasmine calls, you definitely answer.
Please introduce yourself and share a little about your background and expertise.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Kim Germany, and I am a transformational leader. I have been in education for I cannot believe I'm getting ready to say this, 30 years. Let's whisper that, 30 years. I have been a teacher. I have been a student retention specialist. I have been an assistant principal. I have been a principal, and I am starting in my 11th year of district level leadership. I have been in Tennessee, I have been in Mississippi, and I have been in Louisiana, and I have made it full circle back. I'm back in Tennessee doing what I love, and that is teaching and learning. I am finishing in the final stages of my book. It is in being designed, the final edits, and the name of my book is Achieve Now: 4 Strategies to Grow Your Instructional Leadership Skills and Impact Student Outcomes as a New Leader. How did this come about? Because everywhere that I have gone, it has just been, but to be honest with you, teaching and learning is so natural for me. It's so easy for me. I just get into it. It's so easy for me to do it. And everywhere I go and leave, people still call me. They're like, hey, walk me through this. Help me think this through. What do you think about that? And it got to be so many people calling about it. I'm like, let me just package this and put this in a book. So wherever I am, you don't have to be with me to learn from me. So what I have in this book, it is results, it is solutions, and it is the 4-part framework that I have implemented across my career to get the results that I've always had. And I have the receipts for those everywhere that I have been in all of my positions, whether they were school-based or district leadership. I've always increased academic achievement.
I love it. I absolutely love it. What you said is that one of the things you said was so profound. And you said that no matter where you go, people always reach back out to you and call you and ask you for help. How do I do this? How do I do that? And basically, you compressed the main information that people need to know into your book so that they could have a bit of you and your wisdom and expertise with them no matter where they are.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a game changer right there. Like if you don't know why you need to write your thought leadership book, she literally summed it up. So I know that we initially met at Published and Paid Live a few years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
You were trying to write another book. So
yes.
What inspired you to write this one? And like, how did you determine, like which one you needed to go with, which idea you needed to go with?
I made the pivot. I wanted to write the first book, and I'm gonna actually get to that first book. But I wanted to write this first book about personal transformation. And it was about reclaiming yourself, learning how to stop sacrificing and all of that. And I was going full steam ahead with that book. When I went to Publish and Paid Live, and I remember the thing that I love most about Publish and Paid Live, besides just being in the room, was having a time to work on what you were trying to do. You teach the content and then you let us implement. That's true teaching and learning. So I remember we had to write our power position statement. And for every assignment that you made us do, I did mine twice. I did it for my personal transformation book. And then I would also do it for my instructional leadership book, which is the book that is getting ready to go live. And I remember you were walking around and you gave me feedback. And I remember you pointed at my iPad and you said, "Oh, I really like this one." And that was the instructional leadership book. When I left Publish and Paid Live, I joined the program. And it was on one of the first sessions that you were teaching, and Coach Tanya was on there. I'll never forget it. You said, "Why are you writing a book about something you don't have any experience with when you are sitting on your Google Drive with over $1 million worth of content because you have been doing that work? You know it." Light bulb for me. I completely pivoted. I made a complete change. And I was able to do that outline very quickly. I was able, because I have so many years in it, I had such a big book, the first draft. It was so hard. That's my light going off in my office. It was so hard to narrow it down. But that is how I made the change. And the hardest part about the book was, what are you going to put in it so that it's not overwhelming for new school and district leaders? But I can talk about it so easily, so naturally, because I have been doing it so long. So for me, it was that moment: do what you know, stand on your experience. And because that's my passion, that is my passion. And the funny part about that first book I thought I was going to write, some of those pieces parallel to my 4-part framework. The first part of my framework is emotional leadership. What is that? That is personal transformation. You could not successfully lead others until you can successfully lead yourself. Mm-hmm. So I go into that in my framework. You ultimately have to become different to be different. And I remember you said on a call, you are going to change during this process. And I was thinking, how are you going to change on a process of writing a book? You have to change, because the person that is writing the book, you see the transformation as you are doing it because you're doing the work. Mm-hmm. I can talk all day long about teaching and learning from an employee perspective, but I had to learn how to talk teaching and learning from a business perspective. Mm-hmm. I still struggle with that piece a little bit. You know, it is definitely a journey for me, but it is when the more you keep doing something, the stronger that muscle is. I have been on podcasts. I am so proud of the work that I've been able to share. I had my first keynote. My first keynote speech I'm going to deliver in July for a major education organization in the state in which I currently reside. And I'm so nervous about it, but it's the nervousness is an excited nervousness. I'm getting ready to launch my first webinar. I'm not going to tell you the name because you've already taught me about keeping your intellectual property. So I'm getting ready to launch that. It has been a journey of transformation. A journey.
Amen. 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 So let's go to the writing process a bit, because I know, like you shared, like you had some pivots there. What was your biggest challenge when writing your book? When you were like first writing it, what was the biggest challenge that you faced while writing it, and how did you overcome it?
I would say the biggest challenge is really sticking to the outline. And I remember you gave us the sample template, and I remember you saying, spend time to craft out every chapter. You put in what do you want to get out of it? What are the examples? What are the stories? And I think that if I had been more strategic with the outline piece initially and really being succinct about that, I think that I could have written that book faster. To be honest with you, I was like, you're right. You can write a book very quickly if you write a concise book. There is no fluff. And as educators, we always want to set the stage. We want to present, give you a little history, give you this, blah, blah, blah. You don't have time for that. You tell me what this is, why I need to know it, how I'm going to implement it, and give me some examples and move on. And I thought about it just recently. Had I really spent more time with the strategic outline, I wouldn't have had to go back with all of the multiple revisions. I wouldn't have had to do it. The outline is key, and really being intentional about what you're doing before you even sit down with the outline. Really be clear about where you are going.
And what do you feel has been the most valuable lesson that you've learned during your writing and publishing process?
I think that I have really learned to streamline the writing process, which makes me streamline my verbal communication. I think the writing process I've always been a good speaker. I grew up in church. I grew up going Easter speeches, Christmas, all the speeches. But I'm going to tell you what, the writing process has made me be more of a very concise communicator. I am very clear about that. And I can regurgitate what you're telling me, and I don't have to use all of this jargon. Matter of fact, I'm coming away more and more away from jargon because my platform is not just education. So I'm coming away from that, and I'm being very, very clear about leadership principles and practices, because it's the same. Leadership is leadership everywhere you go. It is the same thing.
Yes. I'm like, yes, Dr. Kim. Yes. So how would you say, like writing and publishing your book has helped you to grow your brand and, online education and speaking and consulting business?
I don't even have a book in hand, but I walk around with it like it's imaginary. Because when I talk about, and I'm going to tell you another thing. Do you know it was almost like initially, I didn't even want people to know I was writing the book. See, that's a part of the work that I had to do. That was the internal work I had to do. Because it's like, oh, I'm writing the book. I don't want anybody to know I'm writing the book. No, everybody needs to know I'm writing the book. I'm always now talking about the book. When you slide in my DMs, I don't even know who you are, but I'm asking you, have you gone to my website to buy the book? That's what we're talking about. Building a brand is different, but it's so similar in the work that I do. Because for years, I have built school brands. I have built district brands. So the same way that I go and pub for a school, the same way I would go and sell my school to get people to come and work at that school or work at that district, that's what I do now. I show you what I can do for you, and I'm not ashamed about that. I'm not ashamed. I'm going to tell you what I can do. This is my background. And you have to stop the thinking of your bragging. You're not bragging. You're sharing your results to help other people get theirs. And if we are all more transparent and vocal about the challenges that we have and what I have done, step 1, 2, and 3, if I've done it in various environments, urban, suburban, rural, across multiple places, that means it can work for you too. So I share that knowledge now. I have been invited. My proposals have been accepted. We're getting ready to go down. The first time I'm getting ready to present will be in a few weeks for my brand. And that is so huge. I have my retractable banners, my tablecloths. I even have my little thank you cards. I'm ready to go. And I'm so excited about it because I've done it for so long. But you know what else? I know that it's good. I know it's good. I know that book is good. I know every chapter is good, and you're going to learn something from it. I know it is because it's results based.
Listen, can we just give a round of applause for the confidence and the conviction here? And I talk about it often, like your confidence alone will sell you. But coupled with the confidence is the conviction that you have when you know that you do good work and when you know what you know. You know that you know what you know. and you know that you can stand flat-footed and deliver that and help people get results. And one thing that you said was so powerful, that you have spent years building school brands. You've spent years building district brands. And now you're taking that same skill set, that same focus and energy, and doing it for yourself. And I want everyone listening and watching, those of you all who are watching this on YouTube, watching this on LinkedIn or wherever else you may be watching, and those of you all who may be listening, to hear this, the skills that you develop in your career, and even those of you all who are operating businesses, they're transferable skills. You can take those same skill sets, maybe make some adjustments to it, market and promote yourself, and build your personal brand, your thought leadership brand, with your book as the cornerstone of that. So that was just so powerful. And thank you so much for sharing that. Now, my next question is, and I know the answers to this, but I want you to talk about it, because let's talk about the increase that you've seen in your speaking opportunities, in your product development and other opportunities that are coming down the line since writing your book, because you're in the publication phase now. You're wrapping it up. You don't even have your book yet. So how have you seen an increase in these other areas so far?
What I have done the homework, I've done the research, and I look at all of the conferences that may be coming up in my area. I'm not trying to spend a lot of time on planes flying here and there. That's really not my speed. That's not my thing, but I can do that. And I know that as I am building, you want to have one message that can resonate and capture the attention of a lot of people. And the best way to do that, we already know, is conferences. I have the same proposals that I submit. It's a proposal about emotional leadership, about instructional leadership, about transformation, how to change school, and how to garner parental support. Those are my proposals, because that's my message. That's my framework. So I'm speaking in the areas that I know that I am strong in. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what industry you are in. You have to know how to handle people. You have to know how to have the right reactions and how not to respond. When it relates to instruction, that is about teaching people to do the things that you want them to do it in the way that you want them to execute. Change leadership, that's looking at our metrics. That's looking at data. What's working, what's not, where are our goals, and how do we make the adjustments? And for sustainability, keep doing the same thing that's working. That's my 4-part framework for instructional leadership. But it's just leadership, period. In order to grow my brand the way that I want to be as an international, as a global expert, I have to get out. I have to be in front of people, and I'm prepared to do that. I remember when you were talking about speaking. You have one message. You have one speech that you do that you change a little bit based upon your audience, and that's what I'm going to do. So if you listen to me across multiple platforms, you may hear the same teaching principles, but that won't change. But the scenarios that I use will, the examples that I use will, based upon my audience. I am the closest that I have ever been to ready to execute on my own behalf as an entrepreneur. I've never been this close before. I've never been this ready before.
Well, you're already doing it. You were just talking about a keynote that you secured, other podcasts. And I know of other keynotes and other opportunities that you've gotten too. One of the things that you said was so powerful was that you use the elements from your framework to pitch or to submit to these conferences. And that's what you speak on. And you know that in the mastermind, that's what I teach, is creating your 7-figure framework.
Yes.
And then leveraging that framework, communicating the value of that framework, and leveraging that framework to write your book, to create your training programs, your presentations, your coaching offers, and more.
Yes.
And for everybody that's listening, I have to say this because Dr. Kim shared her, Dr. Germany, she didn't like me calling her Dr. Kim, shared her framework. And it's copywritten, so don't think that you're going to take her copyright and then go try to use it. Trust. It's copywritten. Her items are trademarked. Okay.
Yes.
We work. Okay.
Yes.
So I have to put that out there because we got some people who like sticky fingers. So I'm just putting that out there. Okay. But you simplified the process. Another gem that Dr. Germany shared was that she researches, and I think that this is so important because, like you said, you do the work. A lot of people wait for opportunities to come to them, but you're going out there and getting them. You said that you broke down how you did it. So if you didn't catch it, you need to go back and listen because I'm not going to repeat it. But the opportunities are out there. Let me tell y'all something. I don't care what's going on in the economy. I don't care what's going on, politically, right? At the end of the day, God's word stands. And one of the things I was reading about recently was Joseph, when he was the governor of Egypt, and there was a drought going on in Egypt, and he reconnected with his fathers and brothers, and he put them in the land of Goshen, which was overabundant with resources. So you got to understand, while the world is talking about lack, while the media is spreading all of these things and it's instilling fear, while things are happening government-wise, and it feels like things are being restricted, there is a land of Goshen for believers. Mm-hmm. You have to believe in it. You got to look for the opportunities, and you got to be ready to go. Okay. And so that's what I hear you saying, is that you are looking for opportunities for abundance. You are looking for opportunities to create your own, right?
Yes. Yes.
So go listen. You listening, go out there and get it. Don't wait for it.
You got to go get it.
If you're waiting for it to come to you, it's not going to come. You got to go out and get it.
And I think that had I not really been pubbing the book, the pre-orders, I'm not even so sure the keynote opportunity would have come my way, because that came to me by someone who knew me. Said, hey, we thought of you. This is what, are you available on this day? Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm available all day, in fact. But you have to, if you sit back and wait, if you're waiting for the perfect time, if you're waiting for everything to be done, if you're waiting for it to be perfect, you're going to continue to be waiting this time next year. Because when that email came to me, send the proposal on what this keynote will be about, you already know I had it packaged and ready to go. Boom. You have to invest in yourself. Be ye always ready. The speaking that we learned from Dr. Jenna, being a part of your program for 2 years now, I'm prepared to step out and launch. I still need the support, but I can go and get the work done and be confident because you give us the framework. I follow the directions and I follow the instructions. Boom. I'm going to make it happen.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So how do you feel your mindset as an author, as an entrepreneur has shifted since you started this process and now almost going through the publication?
It has changed. Matter of fact, I did not ever I don't want to be out front. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to do that. Let me see something on email. Let me post this. Let me post that. It has taught me, be him. Be who you are. You don't have to hide behind who people think you are. You don't have to hide behind, oh, you are district leader here. Oh, you were that over there. I am Dr. Kim Germany, transformational leader, and I'm speaking on behalf of Achieve Now Network, not on anything that you may see on a district website. This is who I am. This is what I know works, and this is how I have done it. I am so confident in that. I have proven it. My confidence, I've always been a very confident person. Being confident as an employee versus being confident as an entrepreneur is completely different. There is no feeling in business. Therefore, I have no fear of you telling me yes or no. In my mind, naturally, a no, you have to tell me no multiple times. You don't just tell me one no, and I'm done. No, and I'll be back. No, and I'll be back. No, and I'll be back. But I'm going to tell you the biggest lesson that I've learned, which was a heartstring lesson, is that, the Bible where it says he will prepare tables for you in the presence of your enemies. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's the enemy around you that you don't recognize as the enemy, because I have lost some very dear friendships. I have gone from people blowing me up. Let's talk, let's do this, let's do that, to Crickets. I'm talking about complete silence. I'm talking about them purchase not one of my, I mean, not a single one. Matter of fact, the people that you think that when you post, and hey, all my stuff now public. You don't have to try to come friend me on Facebook, in an unknown name.
Mm-hmm.
My stuff is public. You can go share it if you want to. None of that. And you have to be prepared for that, because as you go up, you can't have baggage going with you. As you go up, you're going to get lighter. And the weight that you carry, you're going to have to leave. You're going to have to leave the baggage there. And it's hurtful. It's very hurtful. Some people that I thought would really be so proud of me and so happy for me and congratulations, not a single word about it. But nevertheless, yet in spite of, is where I'm coming from, because there are people waiting to get what I have to offer. You think about, oh my God, what if nobody buys the book? I'm not worried about who does or who doesn't, because I know the people that's supposed to have it will get it. I'm not even worried about that. It is a true transformation in your thinking and your mindset. It has to be. This time last year, no, this is not the same person. It's not. This is a completely different person as it relates to Achieve Now Network. This has always been the person that I do, working for kids, being paid as a district leader.
I absolutely love it. Listen, Dr. Germany touched on something that's very sensitive, but it's very real. And that's, when you start doing different things and start expanding, not everybody around you is going to support you. And you have to be emotionally, mentally ready for that.
Yes.
You got to be emotionally and mentally ready for that. Some people that's walking with you now might not be walking with you a year from now. They just might not be. And you have to understand, it's not even about you. It's more so about them. And you have to release. You got to release in love and light and keep moving forward.
And keep pushing. Keep pushing.
So what would you say, or what advice would you give to someone who's considering writing a thought leadership book, but they feel like maybe it's not the right time? Maybe they have a lot going on. Maybe, financially they're questioning it. What would you say to them?
I'm going to say this. Let me see your closet. Show me your closet. And then I'm going to tell you about your finances. Show me the last 6 weeks of your debit card swipes. And we're going to talk about where your money is. It is, and it's not going. You get what you pay for. And it's never going to be a perfect time. That's why it's called opportunity. Because if it was called perfect time, you'll be like, okay, I'm ready for it. But the window of opportunity is not always going to be there. And if you don't step out and do it while you have the anointing to do it, it's going to pass you by. Some opportunities may swing us, as they say, swing the block. Some may not. You have to take advantage of the opportunity and chase you the way you chase opportunities for others. But hey, I was writing my dissertation. I was in the final stages of the dissertation process. My dad died in February of that process in 2014. Matter of fact, the death of his anniversary was just yesterday. My dissertation chair called me and she would say, Kim, we're going to wait because I had a defense coming up. I said, no, we're not. We're going to keep going. Let's go. And I finished that dissertation. I almost cried at my final defense because one of the professors on my committee said, Kim, I didn't even realize that your dad passed. I'm so sorry. I got emotional at that moment, but I kept on pushing. And I won the best dissertation award. If that's what it's called, a hustle. It's so easy for us as women, as mothers, as wives. We always want to go hustle for the kids. We want to go hustle for the husband. When are you going to stand up and hustle for yourself? This is the first time in all of my life that I am hustling for me. I am pursuing for me, that I am my own priority. Because you know what? At the end of the day, there are new district and new leaders that need the guidance that I can give them. And we're worried about what's happening politically. I'm not worried about that at all. because for those of us that are prepared, that have the results, it's going to blow up. It's going to be massive. It's going to be so much that we're going to have to get other people in the kingdom to do it, which is a part of my affirmation, something that I say every day. You have to put your money and your thinking where your purpose is, not where your purse is. You have to chase purpose.
Listen, you had me tearing up over here, like literally. Mic drop, okay? Like I don't have any mic drop. I can't put it any more than that, y'all. Dr. Germany.
we pay for what we want. We pay for what we want.
Listen, you said open up your closet. Like open up your closet. Look on your debit cards expenses for the past 6 weeks.
Where is your money going? Because ultimately we pay for what we want. We pay for what we value. And until you value yourself, it's always going to be too expensive. Until you value yourself. I'm with Kim. I'm with Kim Cassandra. Whatever I need to do to push my purpose, I'm going to do it. If it means I'm not going to the nail shop as frequently, guess what? I'm not going. If it means that I'm not going to my favorite stores, guess what? I'm not doing. I've made the change. For a whole year, I have been on a spending fast. I've stopped swiping and spending my money because something is on sale. I don't do that anymore. Because it's on sale, because I can, doesn't mean I need to or that I should. I'm not doing all that eating out anymore. I'm going straight to the grocery store. I'm cooking for the week. This is what we're eating for lunch, and this is what we're going to eat later on. You have to make the sacrifices and be diligent so that you can pursue. When you look back at it, what do you really want in front of you? Do you want the revenue from your book, your business, your brand, put on webinars, hosting transformation for people? Or do you want your purse over here? I mean, when you really just think about it, do you want transformation or do you want another Louis? Do you want transformation or do you want a larger YSL? What difference does it make? And half the time, you don't even use the stuff that we have because we are ashamed that we even have it. Oh, I'm not going to carry that. I'm not going to carry that purse to work. I had to carry that when I go out. It's just sitting up in the closet. Or how many bottles of Delina do you really need? Do you need every color Delina? Really, when you think about it, what's important to you? What's important to me are the boys and girls that I'm supposed to serve by way of building instructional leaders. That's what's important to me. And I'm not getting ready to sacrifice that anymore. I'm fueled by it. I'm fueled.
Listen, I mean, Dr. Germany just dropped so many gems here. Like that, like honestly, that's a whole entire mindset. Like in addition to everything that you just said, one thing really stuck out to me. And that is we'll hustle for our kids. We'll hustle for the church. We'll hustle for our men. But then when it comes to ourselves, it's always an afterthought. And it made me think, you know, like even when it comes to my children, investing thousands of dollars into their education, into tutorials, into sports and all these things, you know, and I know that there are a lot of women who do this. Now I invest in myself, but I understand that there are a lot of women that'll put all this time working extra hours and all the things into going over and beyond for their kids, but they put themselves as an afterthought. And anytime they want to do for themselves or do anything to put themselves in a better position financially, because when you are working on your book, when you're building a business, that is sowing seed to put yourself in a better position financially so that now you have additional streams of income in your life or in your business. And it, you know, and it's a second guess. And that just hit me real hard because I know how much I spent on my kids.
Yes.
It's ridiculous, but I'm grateful to have the means to do the things that they need, you know, to put them ahead. But, you know, at the same token, you know, we definitely have to invest in ourselves as well. Listen, where can people find out more about you, your book? How can they connect with the Dr. Kim Germany?
Oh, they can follow me on my website. Please go and check me out. www.drkimgermany.com. I'm on all social media platforms as Dr. Kim Germany. Follow me so we can stay connected. You can know when this book is getting ready to launch, and go get your pre-order, please.
Awesome. Awesome. You all make sure that you follow Dr. Kim Germany. We're going to put all of her information down below in the show notes. So if you are watching on YouTube, you can find it there. If you're looking at us on LinkedIn, definitely make sure that you come and follow us on the podcast to get all that information. We'll make sure to tag her profile on LinkedIn as well. And until next time, everyone, peace, love, and impact.
Thank you.